Welcome, Sleep Talkers. I know I'm late with the uploads, and I've kept you waiting for about 2 weeks now. Well, say no more, because now we have the semifinals of M-Dragon and Kenix. I decided to wait for a week to pass so I could record the semifinals and the finals on the same day. Indeed, this match is between the leader of the Tenacious Tyranitars for the GSC Premier League against Kenix from the Vaporized Vaporeons, and this is an OU battle. So I say we get right into it and see what they have in store for us. I heard this was quite an explosive game, and as we start off right away, we see a Gengar lead, not quite common, against a Nido lead, puts the phaser right to sleep. Good on M-Dragon, and it's a Thief Hypnosis Gengar at that. So we see a Ice Punch following Sweet versus the T-Bolt Zapdos. Already in over the course of 4 turns, this Gengar has done so much to Kenix's team. Is the last move a T-Bolt or an Explosion? I guess we'll find out later. Meantime, this T-Bolt Zapdos is put to sleep while the Snorlax is coming in. Maybe it's a cursed Snorlax. M-Dragon decides to go for the safe option and throws a double edge here. In comes Cloyster. It looks like the Cloyster may have even come in if the Tyranitar would have come in, but I don't think that would have been the case. So, interestingly enough, alongside the Rhydon there is, alongside the Gengar is a Thief Rhydon. So I don't think I've seen a team like this before. It's quite interesting. And Kenix also has a Thief Gengar and managed to steal the lefties from Rhydon. Kenix baits out the switch, although M-Dragon doesn't want to give too much information, so he stays with his Cloyster, goes for a Toxic on what could be a mono Curselax, maybe a Lovely Kiss. You never know when there's a Pursuit Tyranitar about. So, I'm having quite a hard time to keep up, frankly. So if we go back just one turn, we see how the Cloyster comes in, goes for the Toxic on the Zapdos, who is already asleep though. And it's a Sleep Talk Zapdos, so it's not going to be doing too much against Snorlax, but definitely putting in that work. Just enough to avoid it, you know, wrecking havoc, because it can't kill everything it wants for free. M-Dragon resting off. It's a Sleep Talk Earthquake. Snorlax manages to get an Earthquake on the Gengar and tanks quite successfully that Earthquake. And here comes in the Curselax. So M-Dragon decides to bring in his phaser, and just as I thought, it was a Lovely Kiss Snorlax. Not as threatening to Gengar, so both players seem to be having options, multiple options for the variations of Snorlax that there are. And Kenix reveals to have a Thief Nidoking, as it didn't have lefties, and it took away the leftovers from Zapdos on M-Dragon's end. Snorlax coming in on a hidden power. In case you're wondering, no, the audio isn't behind, but I am, so yeah. Bit of exchanges here, a lot of switching, dealing with damage. This Zapdos may be taking a risk, a crit, and it's dead. But I guess this goes both ways in the battle. M-Dragon making a very strategic play here. Now the Nidoking has no choice but to either sacrifice itself or switch out, and the Gengar can, well, create a lot of damage with not much in Kenix's way, but in M-Dragon's way. But Kenix decides to challenge the Gengar, saying, "You know what? I bet you don't have T-Bolt," and he makes a pretty decent call, as M-Dragon is forced to bring in his own Cloyster. And now we see the sleeping Rhydon. A misclick there. Goes for the hidden power as Gengar comes in. Is it gonna boom? Not quite. Goes for the Ice Punch, hits the Cloyster, who is now in range. No more shenanigans here. Oh, wow, and it survives at 1%. Oh my god. Who would have said that? Who would have called that? I didn't calc it, so I can't be quite sure, but that is... You hate to see it, unless you're on the side of the Vaporized Vaporeons. So M-Dragon is taking some risks here, burning the sleep turns, manages to make the call also, because he stays in one extra turn so as to make Kenix think that he's going to switch to Snorlax, and takes just takes his sweet time to make the Rhydon wake up, and manages to land that crucial damage on Zapdos here. So now the big threat are Zapdos and Snorlax on one end, and this Cloyster and Starmie on the other. So he has Substitute, dodges the Lovely Kiss. Good call. Good call for sure. And he commences with the Surf damage. Is he going to dodge the Lovely Kiss? What will he do now? He goes to Cloyster as Snorlax uses Curse. Interesting. Interesting play. At this point, Cloyster may want to explode. Yes. And he takes down the +1 Snorlax. And at this point, it's GG. Yeah, it's GG. Unless there's like a turn 1 wake up with a crit crunch Tyranitar. It's GG. Yeah. Oh, what? What on earth? Sleep Talk Tyranitar. Well, he's gonna need a lot more than that to pull this off. Okay, so Kenix forfeits, and this was indeed one of the most lightning fast matches I have yet seen, and perhaps one of the fastest, next to this Uber's match with that Mr. 378 did. Shoutouts to the champion of the Pokemon Perfect League Championships of GSC OU. So if you guys enjoyed, please leave a like. I know this sounds a bit shaky as a match, but it was a really fast one, really interesting one. This may have been a Nightmare Starmie, or just simply a substitute Rabbit Spin Recover Surf Starmie. I think it was quite interesting. M-Dragon managed to make a lot of different plays based on the situation. He very successfully managed to handle the Lovely Kiss Snorlax, which usually makes games end much quicker and go a lot worse. So, yeah, he handled that like a pro, and he maintained control of all of his resources until the very end. So even with the cursed Snorlax, M-Dragon still had a very strong chance of making it with the double-edged Snorlax. Even because you have to take into account the fact that the Kenix's Snorlax would chip Starmie to a point where it could actually be taking too much damage from recoil, and then since it cursed already once, you know, yada yada yada. So good on both players. Interesting combination. I don't agree with the Sleep Talk Tyranitar there, but that does explain why he so eagerly switched to Tyranitar turn 1 against the Gengar. But then that doesn't. But then, do you have a Ghost type check? I guess it was a lot of mind games there, because with the fact that he pretended to have a Ghost type check, the game played out as if he did have one. So I'm not saying, I'm not recommending any players or people watching this to start using Sleep Talk Tyranitar, because that shit's just wild. Okay then. GG's in any case, and I love you until next time.